Speaking of standing up for folks, the assembled media, if I could call it that, the group of people that was surrounding Patrick Beverley last night, count me in that number that would have loved to have seen all of them leave Patrick Beverley to talk to his damn self after he pulled this shit. Here's Patrick Beverley post-game last night.
Here.
I'm sorry, before I finish.
Yeah.
You subscribe to my pod?
Do I subscribe to you? I do not subscribe.
So you can't interview me then. No
Okay,
disrespect.
Well, Jamal is here.
You subscribe? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Again, there were a couple times within a bucket or two. In previous games, y'all have been able to kind of get over that hump, or maybe.
Got my face, please? Yeah, thanks.
Was it anything they did in particular, or was it just one of those where the bucket didn't go down, there wasn't the stop, they made one? What kind of prevented that you all from being able to get over, kind of like you have in the past?
You'll move that mic, please, or just get out the circle, please, for me, please, ma'am. If you're not subscribed to my pod, I appreciate it. Thank you.
And this is after throwing the basketball at the fans. This is after throwing the basketball at the fans, which I don't care what the fans said, man. And we've talked a long time for the entitlement that fans feel in terms of what they can say to players because they bought a ticket. You can't do that. You cannot throw a bat not once but twice at fans. So connecting that with this interaction,
go ahead.
With the reporter, like, just because you lost don't mean you got to act like a loser. And Patrick Beverley, he's shown us who he is time and time again. It's a long past time for us to believe him. Look, he's got subscribed to the pod on his hat. I don't cover the Bucks. I'm not there every day, every game. Apparently, or even possibly, this is his policy, where you got to subscribe to the pod to interview him, whoever you are. To which I say, who do you think you are? It's like this, bro, you Patrick Beverley, man. Right. And some might say, well, that's how we got here, believing that he's somebody that he's not. Because I always say, and I've said this in several contexts, Michael, the way I've conducted myself in my career is I've never believed myself to be entitled to anybody's time. Entitled to anybody's time. Nobody has to talk to me. I appreciate when they do. Thank you for the time. Without fail, I'm gonna say that. On the flip side, why we gotta talk to Patrick Beverley?
Yeah, okay, there we go.
Why do you think it's such a privilege for us, whoever we are, to talk to you? I'm at this place in my life, man, where it's like, I can't stand entitled people in general. We used the word hubris earlier. Like, yo, man, I'm here to tell you, your 15 minutes gonna be up like everybody else's. Sooner or later. Probably sooner than later. Your 15 minutes gonna be up like everybody else's. So to act as though like, it was just unprofessional, it was a turnoff. Like, again, apparently this has been his universal policy. Have you subscribed to my pod? Man,
it's pathetic.
I hope you lost half of them. I hope he lost half of them after last night. Like that it's uncalled for.
Good luck with your.
And if he's been doing that, everybody should have already like left him alone in his locker, because like we've given him this microphone and given him this platform and put him on all these shows and fed this troll. Stop feeding the trolls. Stop feeding them. Stop. And honestly, we're guilty of it right now. Michael, I promise you, there's been a million times on this show where I've said, hey, Mike, you get the last word. And then I've said some shit on the back end. So I will not do it this time. And the reason I'm not going to do it this time is because we've already given enough time. We're giving him the attention that he wants by conversing about him right now. So whatever you got to say is going to be the last word on this.
I will say this. As members of the media, a lot of times, many of us have been trained with this idea of objectivity and not putting ourselves in the story.
Even my conditioning has been conditioned.
Right. Yeah, like we've been told that, hey, putting ourselves in the story or being part of the story is not the way to go. I think that's false. I think that is a dated way of looking at things. In certain situations, your humanity, your principles rise above your training as a journalist or a broadcaster or a podcaster, whatever it is. Why am I saying that? Because if you're a member of the media, and you're around Patrick Beverley, and he pulls that crap, walk away, call him out and walk away. Do not let another member of the media just sitting there like, what the hell is going on? She's trying to do her job, and Patrick Beverley is tripping because, he sees somebody who didn't subscribe to the podcast. But even worse, journalistically, if you don't want to walk away, if you don't want to call him on this BS, think about this. Let's just go to 30,000 feet for a second. He wanted to talk about his podcast. He wants subscribers. That's what he wants to talk about. But the story that we all wanted was, hey, what the hell happened with the fan? He didn't want to talk about that. So journalistically, you ain't in the right place. One, because the dude's got a jacked up perspective. And two, he didn't want to talk about the news of the night. They lost. He had an interaction with the fan, and he didn't want to talk about it. And let me just add this. There, you saw the network that the reporter, you saw on the mic, what is it called? Mic stand? Mic, what is it called?
The flag.
Mic flag. Thank you.
The flag, yeah.
You saw the network that was there.
Yeah.
Hey, you get what you pay for. That same network had him on multiple platforms spewing his nonsense. Spewing nonsense on there. And they loved it. Ooh, can you believe what he said? Can you believe what he said? He was foolish then. And you had him on the air. And now, are you surprised? You get what you pay for sometimes. You get what you pay for.
Chickens come home to roost. All right, let's take a break and talk some football. He got more time than he deserves, but goodness gracious.
No, I'm not subscribing.
No. I wish I had more hands.
No. Hell no, I'm not subscribing to that podcast. Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget, you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.